is brought to you by the Boston Sports Entertainment Network. Please consider liking and subscribing for more Boston sports content.
The red, white, and blue. I can't lose with the red, white, and blue. My whole crew is the red, white, and blue. I represent the stars and stripes. I am a patriot, a true American. I am a champion, yes, and that's on everything. I will protect my home. I will defend, fighting tooth and nail to the bitter end. I don't play to lose, nah, I play to win. Rain, sleet, or snow in the wingland. What? Let me say it again. I play to win. What it is tradition. I'm in the game, playing like Brady. 10 soldiers deep in the field, no Navy. Riding for my soldiers and they riding for me. No matter where I touch down, it's a TD. 2 hands up, yep. Field goal.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Pat's Nation Nightly. My name is Zach Ventola, joined as always by Ben Belford Peltzman. Ben, how are you doing today?
Good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you are echoing. I think you added the wrong one. If we want to 1 second.
Yeah.
Is that better?
There we go. Yeah.
Perfect.
Sorry about that, guys. Yeah. I am all good. It is an exciting time. It is game week. It is game week as the Patriots prepare to play the Cincinnati Bengals this Sunday at 1 o'clock. The first injury report came out today, so that's when you know it's really football season. It's really time to get to that next stage. You had OTAs in the spring, leading up to minicamp, leading up to rookies reporting, leading up to training camp, leading up to the preseason, and now finally the regular season is upon us. Looking at the injury report really quick, I guess we'll kind of start off right there. Something to note is City So did not participate. He talked to the media a few days ago and said, taking it day by day a little bit. So not week by week, not month by month. He definitely got, I don't want to say lucky because he still got injured, but he definitely was fortunate. His ankle injury was not a further more complex injury that would have led him to either been placed on the IR or miss some real time. So
Yep.
City So only non-participant for the Patriots. There were no players listed as non-participants on the Bengals side. So I guess we'll start right there with you, Zach.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that's a pretty good injury report. City So is not ideal having him as a non-participant, but besides that, the Patriots are pretty healthy, which you can't say every year heading into week 1. You usually will get a few more training camp injuries or things of that nature, preseason injuries as well. So assuming City So is not good to go for Sunday, which he may be, but doesn't seem like it's trending that way as of right now, that's pretty huge because we saw in that final preseason game how rough that offensive line looked even after they had shifted. Layden Robinson, who had a pretty good first 2 games of the preseason, did not look great in that third game. So if City So isn't good to go, I would expect that the offensive line from left to right is Chukwuekorfor for Layden Robinson, David Andrews, Mike Onwenu, and Caden Wallace. But I am not sure how much confidence I have in that group specifically, and especially against a defensive line, like the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a great point. And I think you mentioned, but Trent Brown, former Patriot, is going to be on that line as well as Orlando Brown, who is someone the Patriots targeted in the offseason. And of course, Ted Karras, who's now been there for a few seasons, but he was rock solid with the Patriots as well. Moving to the limited participation at practice today for the Patriots, you have another tackle on the line. You have Vidarian Lowe suffering an abdomen injury. You have linebackers O'Shea Jimenez ankle and Joshua Uche foot. And then defensive back Jonathan Jones is dealing with a hamstring injury. And we'll start there before we kind of look at the Bengals' limited participation because I think that is gonna spark some more conversation.
Yeah, again, it's not great having a few starters as limited participants and possible inactives for Sunday, but it could be worse. That's the way that I'm looking at it. Jonathan Jones, that's a pretty big blow. Vidarian Lowe, I believe it was reported that, and I could be wrong about this, but I believe it was reported that he is not trending to play on Sunday. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I just saw that briefly um, earlier today. And then Uche, who you kind of, I wouldn't say you need, but definitely would be helpful having him. Of course, on the interior, that defensive line, Christian Barmore will not play. And on the outside, and as an outside linebacker, Matthew Judon, of course, traded it away. So the Patriots pass rush could be lacking a little bit without Uche if he is not able to go on Sunday. And if he is, you got to hope that he's just able to bring a little bit of a spark and get to Joe Burrow, because that is not going to be an easy task. The Bengals have upgraded their offensive line significantly in recent years.
Yeah, absolutely. And the point of attack for the Patriots is really gonna be, getting in um Joe Burrow's face on Sunday, right?
Yep.
Really making that offensive line work because the defense is gonna work twice as hard this week to limit that Bengals offense to give the Patriots offense a chance to get some points on the board. It's gonna be a tough task. Jacoby Brissett was talking to the media today, talking about really that atmosphere in Cincinnati and how that, they want to get off to a fast start because if you don't get off to a fast start, it's going to go all downhill. You're going to be working up that whole entire game. And you also want to play loosely. You want to play freely. And you can't really, if you're behind by two possessions or more, you can't really pick the plays you want to
Yep.
play. You're kind of picking the plays that like you need to play, not that
Yeah.
you want to pick. So
You're
it's
playing
really
from behind. Yeah.
exactly, yeah. So it's really important to have your whole playbook open, especially in week one, especially on the road. And for
Yep.
that to happen, the Patriots have to get off to a fast start on Sunday. Going to the Bengals side of limited participants, we have wide receiver Jamar Chase, which we'll talk about in a minute. His injury obviously is just rest. Um, and then you have a tackle, Amelius Mims, and then defensive tackle Chris Jenkins. But Jamal Chase, he's trending in the right direction. I wouldn't be surprised if a deal. I would be surprised, I should say, if a deal does not get done between now and Sunday. I feel like it's going to be one of those things that gets done on like Friday night,
Saturday. Yeah.
Saturday night, like sometime during the night when everyone's sleeping, just because um they want to get it done. Like both sides need to get this done. Chase still has 2 years left on his contract, so like
That's crazy to me, by the way, holding out with 2 years left on a
it's like a
rookie deal.
little like I get it, but at the same time, like
Yeah, I
really,
mean, look, get your bag. Like, I'm not shaming him for it. Like, go get your money, but holding out with 2 years left on your rookie deal is kinda absurd.
yeah. I
I
agree.
just wanted to throw that out there.
No, I agree. Um, anyway, so that's kind of it with the injury report. The last thing I will note is that Hunter Henry, Dietrich Wise, Jacoby Brissett, and Anthony Jennings all were full participants. They had some injury questions with them a little bit, but all of them were full participants in practice. Moving on, I, I would like to kind of the site. It's the center, Trent Brown, the tackle. Both played with the Patriots. And now someone else who played with the Patriots last season. for 1 year. He got 29 receptions, 244 yards, and 2 touchdowns in 17 games. Mike Gesicki is with the Bengals as their tight end. I think those are all that come to mind. There might be a few more players. And then on the Patriots side, you have guard Michael Jordan and tight end Mitchell Wilcox, who is on the practice squad.
I'm not gonna lie, I was just frozen for the last minute, but let's go Patriots. I
Okay.
didn't hear a word you said. I was frozen for the last
Well,
minute.
okay. Anyway, I
My
was just
bad.
talking about the connections between the two. That is
Oh,
all
gotcha.
okay. We are all good. Let's talk about some moves the Patriots made previously in the week that we haven't got to yet. Most notably, signing former Packers offensive tackle Caleb Jones to the practice squad. Caleb Jones is huge, 6'9", 370 pounds. It's like some serious. That is
Big
huge.
dog. Yeah,
He's
dude.
huge. He was active for 2 games in 2023. Made his debut last year. He played with Los Angeles Chargers. A little bit. He started his career with them as an undrafted free agent. He just kind of has to, get better a little bit with his hands and in pass protection. But I really like the signing. He's definitely someone who can develop well. And the Patriots have a full practice squad.
Yeah. Again, well, as you just said, Patriots have a full practice squad. I mean, I wouldn't say they got back everybody that I would have wanted them to retain after cut down day, but they got some of the most important ones. So that is definitely good. Being able to build up that secondary team, and definitely plenty of candidates on there to be elevated onto the 53-man roster. Or I guess the 48-man roster on game days and the 53-man roster, if anybody who is currently on there gets placed on injured reserve or is released. But that that offensive tackle signing, again, as you had mentioned, he is huge. I mean, it's gonna be fun just seeing like him pictures of from practice of him standing next to like who's I can't of standing next to Pop Douglas, who he's more than a foot taller than and probably weighs twice as much. Like, though, I can't wait for those to come out. Um, Not that that really matters, but it's just gonna be fun. I'm definitely excited for that. And yeah, besides that, like I think that overall the Patriots did get a very solid practice squad with everybody that they were able to retain.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. Kind of moving on. Whoa, excuse me. Kind of moving on just a little bit here. It was announced today that the Patriots will be bringing back the Patriots throwbacks today. Or this year, week
Yep.
6 against the Houston Texans home, and week 13 against the Indianapolis Colts. So,
Yep.
I guess for the last half of the episode, we're gonna do something we haven't done yet. A
Oh boy.
little early schedule prediction for the Patriots. You're gonna give a little analysis, not a lot. We don't need a whole essay on why you're picking the Patriots to lose or win this game.
Yep.
But we'll end
Hold
with
on,
this.
real quick. Just to before we transition onto the full season, because we do have one question about week one. Just how much confidence do we have in the Patriots heading into week one in Cincinnati? And I would say maybe more confidence than I should with the with the Bengals typically being a team that starts out pretty slow. These past couple of seasons, they have not been the best in week one and week two, but uh, and also with the possibility of Jamar Chase not playing, or if he does, he might be limited. Uh, I still think the Patriots won't win, and that is something that I'm sure we'll get to in a minute with
Yeah.
this whole schedule prediction. But and I guess that can transition us, but I am slightly more confident than I would be with any other game against a team of that caliber.
Yeah. Zach and I will give our predictions on the Bengals game at the very, very end. But thank you for the question, Ken. Moving on to week 2 for the Patriots. They are playing the Seattle Seahawks at home. It is their home opener. Zach, in a few sentences.
Oh man. See, now I'm like on the spot. I'm gonna say that this is going to be a boring game. Like I don't know if actually know it. Forget that. This is going to be a game of scouting for the New England Patriots. They're going to be scouting DK Metcalf so that they can trade for him after the season. This is a preview of what is going to come in New England next year when DK Metcalf goes for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns and Elliott Wolf pulls off a trade for him after the season. That's what I'm going to say. Also, I don't think the Patriots are going to win, but that is not the point, okay? This is a game about scouting DK Metcalf and uh maybe having a few defensive players, give him a little nudge on the shoulder, say, "Hey, you're coming here next year. Demand a trade."
Okay. Uh, I'll have the Patriots winning their home opener. I think it's gonna be a slow game, like you just said, but I think they'll come out with the win. The Bengals are, excuse me, the Seahawks are a team that I feel like are a little overrated going into the season. For me, but I'll give them the win here. Moving on, Jets first division game, their only primetime game of the regular season, 8:15 p.m. Thursday night football. Zach.
So I wish that this was a game that they had those red throwbacks on. I'm still gonna give the Patriots a win on this. I guess I'll start with that. But like the Patriots, is it their only primetime game? I believe it is of the season. You need to have the best uniforms on for that. Um, but anyways, Aaron Rodgers, probably. Jacoby Brissett, probably. Jets have the QB advantage there. There's just always something in the air with the Jets. And I know that it wasn't the case in the last matchup, but I think that the Patriots are going to be able to pull off a win and just really have something special happen there. But I guess something to watch, and again, this is very early on, but Brees Hall against the Patriots run defense, especially with a, I guess, somewhat depleted defensive line. That is going to be a huge matchup if the Patriots are able to slow down Brees Hall. They weren't really able to last season at the end of the year in that final game. Maybe they find something on film, or the Jets are, I don't know. It's still too early, really, to say, but I think that that's going to be the main thing. The Patriots win, and their key to doing so is going to be by slowing down Brees Hall.
Okay. Yeah. I will just keep it short and sweet. I think the Patriots are going to get another win here. I think Aaron Rodgers' time in the NFL is coming to an end. He should have stick to being the vice
Jeopardy.
president for Robert RFK. That was funny. Moving across the United States here to San Francisco, the Patriots take on the San Francisco
Oh, God.
49ers. That's going to be a loss in my book, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's
I'll
going to
just
be a
go.
bloodbath. We can just skip that.
So we both have the penciled in loss here. Moving on to the Dolphins. I actually think. Okay, so here's my dilemma. The whole
Yep.
offseason, I've probably been asked 100, maybe more than 100 times. And I'm
Mhm.
gonna clip this right here. So I'm gonna, this is gonna be good.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay. I've been saying the Patriots are gonna be a 4-win team, 4 to 5 win
okay.
team
Yep.
all season. Sometimes I've even said 3 wins. Looking at the schedule, looking at this preseason, studying their tape, looking at their players,
Mhm.
I have become increasingly optimistic. Now, do I think they're going to be a 10-win team? No. But
But do you think that they're going to beat the Miami Dolphins on October 6th?
I think they're going to beat the Miami Dolphins on October 6th. And I think this is one of these games that if the Patriots can win, look, if the Patriots can start 3-3, which I have them personally doing, this is such a salvageable season. So
Even now with the next game being the Texans, I'm sure that will make it 3-3. But you have them starting 3-2 even. You
yeah,
have them starting out
no,
with a winning record.
yeah,
So
absolutely. I think that not to spoil my pick for Sunday, but and also week 1, so much can
my
happen.
bad.
I always love playing a great opponent, a really hard team week 1
Mhm.
because it's just like week 1, you know.
Yeah.
So I'll get to that pick later, but I have them starting 3-2, eventually 3-3 with the Texans. I
Yep.
think this game home against the Dolphins is definitely a winnable game.
Yeah, again, it's a division opponent, and that offense is just so dynamic. I am not a Tua believer. I think Tua is an average at best quarterback. But when you have to stop Tyreek Hill and you have to stop Jalen Waddle, and then you have guys like Davon Chen and Raheem Mostert, who are not like the most skilled running backs, but they are obviously incredibly fast. That offense can probably do whatever they want whenever they want. And can the Patriots offense of Jacoby Brissett and Pop Douglas, Kendrick Bourne will probably be back by then. That'll be the first game that he's eligible to be back for. But like Kendrick Bourne on his first game back from a torn ACL, Pop Douglas, like fifth game of his career, Jalen Polk. Can they keep up with Tua, Waddle, Hill, and their running back duo? I just don't think so. So I again do have that game as a loss, but I think it could be close. And the Patriots have always underperformed against the Dolphins, or I guess really just in like more recent years. I guess I wouldn't say always, but uh
Yeah. Moving on, I have the next 2 games being losses with the Texans and the Jaguars. Unfortunately. Um, but these are 2 games that the Patriots again could step up and win, but I have them being losses. And I can't really like this is so hard because it's so like far out into the season that I can't even give any analysis because I'm just like saying stuff to say it.
I froze
But
for a second. Which game are we on?
Texans and Jaguars. I was just saying
Oh,
that like giving analysis on my
yeah,
picks right now is just like I'm just like saying
exactly.
stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But I have these 2 being losses.
I have the Texans as a loss, and am not. I'm not even really going to talk about it. Like that is not going to be likely a winnable game for the Patriots. But the Jaguars really are not that good of a team. Like let's be honest here. They're not a bad team, but they are very beatable. I think the only if this game was at Gillette Stadium, I would have it as a win. What has me second guessing that is that it is in London, and if I'm not mistaken, the Jacksonville Jaguars also have their week 6 game in London. So they're going to be settled in. They're going to already have been practicing there and living there, adjusted to the time difference for over a week. And that's a huge advantage for Jacksonville. I still think this game could go either way, but I'm going to give the slight edge to the Jacksonville Jaguars. But again, if this game were at Gillette Stadium, I think that it is a New England Patriots win.
Yeah. Absolutely. I really like it. So I just posted 1 sec. And now moving on to the Jets, Titans, and Bears. That 3-game stretch, Zach, with New York Jets at home, the Titans away, and the Chicago Bears away. What do you see happening there?
I'm gonna say that the Jets is a loss, and maybe it's flipped. I just don't think that I don't think either team is gonna sweep there, unless I'm already forgetting. But I'm pretty sure I had that first Patriots versus Jets matchup as a win, for the Patriots, and then again, so I don't think either team's gonna sweep. I think it's gonna be a split series. So I'll say that the Patriots lose this one. But then the next week against the Tennessee Titans, that's a game that you really kind of have to win. That I would say that the Texans are a bottom 3 team on this schedule, and they might be the worst team on this schedule. That is a game that if you want to show that even if the Patriots are a 4 or 5 win team, if they want to show that they can be competitive and keep games close, even with I wouldn't say talentless roster, but a talent lacking roster, you need to beat the Tennessee Titans. I think they're going to go into Tennessee and do so. And then the Bears, I am pretty high on the Bears. Maybe it's because I drafted Caleb Williams in fantasy, but I don't think that that's going to be a win. I think that the Bears are going to be a very solid team. Caleb Williams will have a really good year, and that receiving core is also just nasty. So that is a lot of players to stop. Really, 3 guys that, you can't double cover anybody probably, because if you double cover Keenan Allen, then Roma Dunze and DJ Moore will be open all game. If you double cover DJ Moore, then the other 2 will be open all game. Like, that's going to be a tough game to win with all of that talent at the skill positions.
Absolutely. I think the Titans, like you said, is a must-win for the Patriots. I think the Bears game is a must-win for the Patriots, and frankly, I think that Jets win game is a must-win for the Patriots if they want to be competitive late in the season, which I have them kind of being, but not being too optimistic at the same time. We have 2 minutes to get through the last 2, 4, 6, 8 games. We'll go through at a time. We have the Rams, the Dolphins, the Colts. Those 3 games, Zach.
Loss, win. The Colts are
Loss,
not.
loss.
Colts are not a team that I am that confident in. I think that is a team that is beatable, especially at Gillette.
Yep. Arizona, Buffalo, and LA. Okay. I will go first really fast. I'll say Arizona is a win. Buffalo is a loss. And the Chargers right there will be another loss, but that could be close. Late in the season, injuries, etc.
Yeah, so I didn't hear what you said. Again, I was frozen for a minute. My Wi-Fi has been even worse than usual today. But I have win, loss, win, actually. And that's being pretty optimistic, but the Cardinals coming off of the bye week for the Patriots, I think that is a very winnable game. Away against the Bills, I don't think there's any way that they win that. Home against the Chargers, I again don't think that the Chargers are a very good team. They are probably one of only a couple teams that have a worse group of skill position players than the Patriots. And then home against Buffalo, I have that as a win just because it is week 18, and I think that the Buffalo Bills will already have maybe not, though. The Bills aren't as good this season. So, or roster wise. So actually, I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna have the Bills sweeping the Patriots, and the Patriots ending the season with win loss win loss. The wins coming against the Cardinals and the Chargers, and both losses coming against the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah. I really like that. I think that I kind of am in a similar boat as you. I think the Patriots are going to end with 7 wins. Um, sorry, excuse me. And 10 losses there. Your final record, your last thoughts on the Bengals, and then we'll close it out.
I don't remember how many wins I said, but you guys can go back, and that is my final record prediction. And I mean, we'll probably have another episode before the Bengals game to give a more in-depth preview, but I think that this is a winnable game. I don't think that ultimately I think that the Patriots are going to fall just short, but I could see this being like a 17-14, 10-13, like 10-14, that type of game. I think it is win.
Yeah. I think you just cut out again, but we're going to wrap it up now. We've been having a few Wi-Fi issues today. Thank you, everyone, for listening. We will be live again shortly. And until next time.